So if you would have asked me about 2 years ago what I thought about towing a trailer off-road on an overland adventure, I was a little indifferent to it. But I had the opportunity to tow a Patriot Camper's X2 trailer for just under a year, and that became a very valuable asset on our long adventures. Now my good buddy Marco has that trailer and he's loving it. And now I have the opportunity to use the Patriot Camper's X1-N Special Edition Code Red trailer, and I am so looking forward to having some great adventures with this trailer. We've been using it a little bit, we put some miles on it, we've done a little camping, and now that I've gotten familiar with it, I want to take just a minute, walk around, and give you a full review of it, guys. I think you're going to find this trailer very, very cool. Stay tuned. It is a beautiful day out here, and I'm so glad to have my son with me because he's going to be my cameraman today. And what we're going to do is just walk around, and we'll talk a little bit about the Jeep. We'll talk about the trailer and just show you some of the cool features. I'm loving how convenient the trailer is and just how well it's laid out. And I got to tell you, it tows really, really well, especially with the Jeep Wrangler diesel on a 37. So I know I'm going to get quite a few questions about how is the Jeep towing the trailer, and I got to tell you, on-road and off-road, it's great. The trailer weighs about 1,800 pounds dry, and so when you are on the road, this Jeep just tows. That diesel doesn't care that it's back there. I mean, this trailer is just so capable. The Jeep is so capable, no problems. Devin, you were driving the Jeep or the trailer today. What you thought on the trail? It was pretty easy, right?
Yeah, it was like there's nothing back there.
Yeah, it was like there's nothing back there because the trailer just goes. We'll talk a little bit more about the suspension, but I think that leads us right into talking about the trailer hitch, which is very unique to this trailer. It has what's called a Cruise Master DO35 trailer hitch system, and it's a fully articulating trailer hitch, which I think if you're going to have an off-road trailer, that's really, really essential. Because if you have a standard ball and hitch style trailer hitch, you're going to bind up, you're going to have limitations where there have been times when the Jeep was, I mean, Devin was driving, you know, the Jeep was getting this way and the trailer was getting that way, right?
Yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable, but...
It looks uncomfortable, but it just kind of follows right through, which is great. So this trailer hitch system is very, very nice. Now down here you have a lot of the standard trailer hitch features that you would have, but what's cool is there is a handbrake here. And so with a handbrake is nice because if you're on an angle somewhere, let's say you're going to unhook and go adventure around while you're doing some base camping, that keeps the trailer from rolling. You don't have to put chocks on there, which is nice. You've got your standard 7-pin connector. You've got all your standard chains here, but then they also have an Anderson cable so you can hook this up to your vehicle while you are driving, and the alternator will keep the batteries charged. That is a really nice feature. I haven't hooked mine up yet, but I will be doing that soon because while there is a lot of storage power on the trailer, the ability to continually charge it and keep it charged up on a long adventure is going to be nice. Now the trailer jack stand here has a big tire on it, and what's nice is it folds up and out of the way when you're off-road and on-road. You don't have to leave it down here, so it just has this nice mounting section. And yes, I can open and close this with this mounted up there, which is nice, so I can still access the back of the Jeep. This is all galvanized steel, so you don't have to worry about any rust or anything like that. Let me show you what else we've got out here. Now this is the X1-N, and it is a limited edition code red. And I love the red. I mean, come on. I think the red is so awesome matching with the Jeep. It just stands out. It's a really cool color. And so there's a couple of unique features about the Code Red Edition. And one of them is having these Max Tracks mounted right here on the front. And the cool thing is you can actually put 4 Max Tracks. I only have 2 here, but you can have 4 of these here. And having those, you know, if you come across somebody that's stuck, or heaven forbid you get yourself in a sticky situation, having those is going to be super nice. Now, right here is what we call the man cave. And the man cave is just a great storage area. So I've got some recovery gear up there. There's a jack stand. Down here I've got some Rotopacks and some rubber boots. The Rotopacks, I don't know if I will keep those there. I'm considering mounting those either on the rear tire or just getting some standard jerry cans. I think I could fit at least 1, maybe 2 standard jerry cans there and give me a little more extra fuel capacity. And the great thing about the trailer is I can carry fuel on the trailer to help keep the diesel fed, which isn't bad, but thankfully we're not burning a whole lot of fuel. And then what's really cool is we've got a grill. We've got a little Weber grill. And look, I like to grill. And so this thing is gonna be getting a lot of use. You know, burgers, steaks, you name it, chicken, we're gonna be grilling up out on the trail. And maybe now I can actually make some good meals for Marco, because I know how to grill. And it's right next to the propane tank that slides in and out, super easy. It's a great little feature, and that locks in so that does not move around. Now over here you'll see we have one of 2 propane tanks. There's another propane tank on the other side, and so you've got lots of propane. You're not going to run out of propane while you're there. So that's the front of the trailer. Now let's slide over and talk about the area my wife loves, and that is the kitchen setup. So starting here we have a Dometic. This is a CFX3 45-liter fridge, and this is probably the tallest fridge that you can fit in here. There's a little room if you had another fridge that was maybe a little longer or just slightly wider, but that's about as tall as you're going to get in there. Now 45 liters, that's a lot of fridge in there, so no worries about that. And in the X2, the fridge was in the rear. I love the fact that when you're working on the kitchen, the fridge is easily accessible right here, plus we've got a sink. How cool is it to have a sink here with hot and cold running water? That is really nice. Devin and I have been using the heck out of this just to wash our hands or get a glass of water. It's super nice. And there's a little drain plug in here, and then on the bottom you can actually attach a drain hose, so you can run that gray water away from camp if you want, or collect it in a bucket, whatever it works for you. But this is nice, and this just folds down. This whole thing just slides in. Now up here you've got another little cabinet space where you can keep some sponges, keep some soap, whatever you want for washing dishes. I think that's a great little area. And then down here you've got like a little utensil drawer. So we've got some knives and stuff in there, and that is really, really handy. It's a perfect little use of all this area. And this is all stainless steel, food grade, so it's really easy to clean up, and I love it. And then you've just got this massive workspace right here. Whether you're cooking or, for me, setting up camera gear, this is just a great table to have when you're out on your adventures. Now over here is kind of your trailer command center. And so what we've got over here is, we'll start off with the Red Arc. This is the Manager 30 system. And so what that allows is it manages the power if we're going to go from the Jeep to the trailer, if we're going to go from solar to the trailer, or shore power to the trailer. Now if I'm going to hook up shore power, just underneath here is actually where that happens, and then on the other side there's an Anderson connector where we can hook up solar. So we've got 3 different ways to keep the batteries in here charged. Now the great thing about this trailer is that it has 235 amp hour AGM batteries. So we've got 270 amp hours on this trailer. That is a lot of power. So I'm not going to want for power. I mean, we can go multiple days without hooking up to anything and not having any problems. So if we wanted to base camp for a long time, you know, we could set up a solar panel, but you're going to be okay for several days. And I guess it depends on the temperature and how much the fridge is running, but so far we've had a pretty good experience. Also over here you have your water level indicator, and this trailer holds 40 gallons of water. That's a lot of water, even for my son and I, my wife and I. You know, I mean, if we were out for a week, you know, we've learned to conserve water over the years. I don't think we would use 40 gallons of water. I don't know, maybe that's a good excuse to take a shower at camp, Devin, don't you think?
Yeah, keep clean.
Yeah, maybe we'll start doing that. And we'll talk a little bit about the hot water and shower system. Normally we don't do that, but maybe now that we have the ability to do that, maybe we will. Anyway, so it's nice to be able to see what your water level is. You've got LED lights in all the storage compartments out here, so it brightens everything up. Even in these drawers that pull out, they are lit up. You got your water pump, you got power for your fridge, power for all the accessories, and plus there is a 12 volt here. There's 2 12 volts on the back, and then you have some USB here so you can charge up. Again, for me it's camera gear, phones, whatever you need. And then you have the switch is called the blower. So basically there is an air compressor built into the trailer to manage the airbag suspension system, which is really unique. And we'll talk a little bit more about the suspension system, but this is where you manage it. And so it tells you the PSI in each bag. And the great thing is you can inflate or deflate those bags right here from that controller. And if you are somewhere where you're a little off camber when you're trying to set up camp, you know, normally what we do is we, you know, throw some rocks under there. We're driving back and forth. Devin knows the drill, right? Devin, am I level yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're always having those conversations. Now we just roll up to camp, find somewhere where it's reasonably level, and we can raise or lower the trailer right here, which is just been very, very convenient. So a nice little system right here. This little command system is perfect. And then just a ton of storage here. I need to get some more storage containers just to get a little more organized, but we've got a small shelf up here. We've got a big deep shelf down here. We're gonna move all the coffee stuff out of the way. This is the coffee storage right here because we got the big percolator and all the coffee. But that's where we usually keep the coffee. And then the stove, there's a storage shelf back here. There's actually a little place you can put spices and stuff back there if you want. And the cool thing about the stove setup is that if you look down here, that's where we've got the second propane tank. And so the second propane tank, there's a hook for it, which makes it really easy to set up, and you're not running lines all the way across the trailer. Just bring that tank over, it's off the ground, it works perfectly. Let's talk about the awning for a minute. So we don't have the awning deployed today, but it is very easy to do. Now this awning is on two scissor jacks. So you release the clamps on that, and this awning raises up, and then it is a 270-degree awning that goes all the way around. And if you have ever been out on an adventure and Mother Nature starts pouring some rain on you, or you're out in the desert and you are in some, you know, Devin and I have been out like 110 degrees. Yeah. Boy, just to get a little shade is super nice. And so having a nice awning that's well built, gives you plenty of shade, it can be a huge asset. So that's the awning. Devin, am I forgetting anything over here?
I don't believe so.
All right, let's hop to the back. And so on the back of the trailer, we'll talk about these little cubbies here. So there are two little open air cubbies, and what's nice about these is, let's say you got, you know, some muddy shoes, or you've got some really nasty recovery gear, or just some wet towels and swimsuits that you don't want to put in the vehicle or inside the trailer. You can stash them in here if you don't mind them being open to the elements, and that's not a bad place to put some stuff. Here's those 12-volt power outlets I was talking about, and then up here I have my James Baroud tent. This is the space tent model, and I am really liking this tent, but we've mounted it to their EXO rack system, and the EXO rack system is really versatile. You know, you can mount a rooftop tent, you can put storage boxes up there, canoes, mountain bikes, whatever you want. It's a great rack system. So pretty happy with that, and that thing super sturdy. It's not going anywhere. On the back we have a full-size spare tire. This is a 35-inch, which we'll talk a little bit more about suspensions and tires, but this is a full-size tire, and this is in the Jeep's lug pattern, which is really great. Not that I'm running 35s, but if you are running 35s, you got an extra spare that you can use for the trailer or on your Jeep. Now this just swings away, just like that. Two little latches here, and this comes down, and then we have storage for days. It goes way, way back there, guys. I have my minus 30-degree sleeping bag in here. This thing is a beast, because I was just in Missouri, where if you were paying attention to the weather here in February 2021, when we're filming this, there was a massive storm that came across the United States, and it was minus 6 degrees in the Ozarks where we were planning on camping. We ended up not doing that. We ended up camping somewhere else. It was still cold, and I still got a lot of use out of this bag, but it's huge. But plus I've got chairs, we've got a privacy tent back there, all kinds of places to throw, you know, bags. If you know you're taking a family out, you need all that extra storage. Super nice. Then you've got a full drawer system. So in this drawer system, I've got the sleeping bags that I normally use. Got some pillows, got some extra blankets, just some small little fuel cans, some towels, and then in here are some of the ropes and stuff for the awning. And then there are these little panels. Let me pull these out and show these guys, Devin. So these panels, when you deploy the awning system, these panels go inside between the awning and the trailer. So if you're getting some wind or rain or whatever, the awning, it will keep water from coming into your cooking area. So these are pretty nice to have. I like those a lot. Okay. I think, oh, and let's make sure we talk about recovery. So on the bumper of the rear trailer, there are 2 recovery hooks because, you know, it is possible that I guess we could need to recover to the rear if we got in a hairy situation and I needed somebody to come and pull us back. Plus there's also a trailer hitch receiver, so if you wanted to put something in there to maybe hold some mountain bikes or something, that is a pretty good option. Okay, over here we've got another open storage area, and just kind of a wide open storage. We've got some soft bags in here so you can put clothes or food or whatever you needed in here. And then I've got our buddy heater because we definitely needed that on our last trip. And then we've got a 400-watt inverter over here. So you've got extra power if you need it coming right off. Again, those 2 AGM batteries. And then just a little storage area here. I'm just keeping like shore power cables and that kind of stuff up there. This is, again, another nice table to have. So if you're doing some work, you know, throwing some tools up there. Many times I've been working on somebody's vehicle and throw a tool bag up here or whatever. Now, let's talk about the tires and suspension. So the Code Red model comes with 35-inch tires. That's awesome. They just look good and they're super capable off-road, and it's on this fully independent suspension, and the suspension arms under there are just beefy and they articulate like nobody's business. I have towed that X2 trailer in some crazy places I probably shouldn't have, but we had a great time going off-road and doing some stuff. Even on parts of, Devin was with me, the Rubicon Trail, dude. We were on part of the Rubicon Trail with a Patriot camper's trailer, and that thing just went. I mean, we were pretty hard on it, but it didn't care. It just kept on going. This has a very similar suspension, actually a little beefier because it's got dual shocks and it's got that airbag. So I know, I don't plan on taking this on the Rubicon Trail, but you never know where we might end up. And so I'm not worried that this trailer is not going to be capable enough. This trailer is going to do exactly what we need to do. Over here on the side is where we fill the water. So that's easy to do. And I mentioned the solar, so there's a little Anderson cable for the solar. And then our last little storage compartment over here is where our hot water heater is. And so the hot water heater mounts right up here on the door, and there's basically 3 hoses. So one hose goes from the hot water heater to the propane tank, then one goes to the main tank, which is up there on the front near the trailer hitch, and then it's already pre-plumbed right here, so it goes to that sink. But you can also just set it up for a shower if you wanted. So you can plug I can show you. Let me show you. So you can also just take a shower out here if you wanted. So you can hook it up to the hot water heater and take a little shower. And I think, I don't know, Devin, after a couple days, dude, we're not usually smelling very good.
Not great. Not
great. So we might be taking some more showers. And then down below here is a little slide out drawer, and you can put whatever you want here. I've got a little porta potty, which spouses out there usually appreciate, a little privacy tent, a little porta potty. But you could put, you could put a generator down here if you wanted. You could put all kinds of stuff. So, and if you look at all these doors, they're sealed with rubber, so nothing gets dirty inside there. But inside here, there's also a positive air pressure filter. So air comes in, gets filtered to this, and it just keeps dust from inside the trailer. So there you go, guys. That's a walk around of the Patriot Campers X1-N Code Red trailer. We're going to have some awesome adventures in this thing coming up. We've already had some, but I am actually, when this video goes live, I'll be out on the trail with my good buddy Marco, Josh, and some other good friends out getting this thing dirty and abusing it and using it, and really looking forward to many great adventures. And I got to tell you, Red, Patriot Campers, you nailed it with the red. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with my son and I for this quick walk around. We'll see you out on the trail soon, guys. Thanks for watching.